such a beautiful, such a powerful, such a potent faculty with which we are blessed. I would like to make a difference between mind and brain. Brain is the physical organ of this body. It can be seen, it can be tested, it can be dissected, and so on. Whereas mind is non-material, which cannot be seen, but it can be experienced. I was a psychology student, and whenever we asked our professor, "Sir, what is mind?" he used to say, "Mind is what mind does." Or sometimes he used to say, "Mind is the function of brain." Both the definitions never satisfied us. But over the years, when we came in contact with this organization, we were told there is something which is called mind. Mind is the faculty of the being. We call ourselves human beings. Human part is known to all of us. Human, the word comes from humus, which means mud, dust. And being is the life energy that makes us work, that allows us to see, that allows us to speak, that allows us to hear, that allows us to perform. It enables us to play our role wearing this dress on the world drama stage. And as Sister Rama spoke to you, she said we know a lot about the physical aspect. But there is something, what we call life energy in scientific words, or we may call ruh. In Hindi we call it Atma, spark of light, just point of light. When it is present in the body, then we are able to perform, and when it goes out, we say so and so is gone. Or the life comes to a standstill, what we call dead. Now, what is this life energy? What is this soul? It is a composite form of three major faculties: mind, intellect, and sanskaras. Today I will not be talking of the intellect and the sanskars, but I will talk to you today about mind. Mind is the thinking faculty of the being. No doubt, in the brain, there is an area located which is capable of recording the quality of thoughts that are arising. A dead person does not think. I am standing before you, talking to you, looking at your faces, giving a turn to my talk. The minute this being goes out, I lie dead over here. You put my body, you take my body and place it on fire, doesn't say anything. But little prick of a needle will make me experience pain. If someone is abusing, I will feel, what is it? The thinking faculty, the being, when it is present, then we are able to have all these finer kind of phenomena. The minute it ceases to be there, we are not able to think, not able to experience, not able to feel. Now this mind is such a fast faculty, it functions so fast that it becomes very difficult to measure. Still, you just imagine, I give you a small little experiment. You are sitting here. I request you to go to your kitchen. Are you there? Are you there in your kitchen? Yes? You did not get up from here? Isn't it? You did not take your bike, you did not take your car, but you are in your kitchen. Now I request you to open the tap of your kitchen. Have you done it? Yes? Okay, now close it also because Dhaka needs water. You have done it. Through your mind, you have gone. I request you now to go back to your childhood. You have gone? You are playing, going to school, right? Now I request you to imagine your old age, although you may not like to do that. But can you? Yes? Yes. This is mind. It travels into the past, it travels into the future, it transcends time and space. You remember, I think it was on Daffodils, I forget the name of the poet, was it Keats? Wordsworth, who said, "When often on my couch I lie, with vacant and in pensive mood, they flash upon my inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils." Sometimes you are sitting all alone. Nobody is around you. But then you are smiling. Why? You are remembering something. Sometimes you are all alone, and let's say you have had a tiff with your friend. You are in your room and you are frowning. Why? You are remembering. So this mind, it is capable of generating a number of thoughts. Once I was reading Times magazine, and sometimes, the portion which is very important is highlighted. I just looked at it and I found there was very nice data. It said, one of the things that it said was, a normal human mind gets more than 35,000 thoughts per day. How many? 35,000. Now I'm sure we are thinking also very fast, speedily, so it must have grown to 40,000. But tell me, are we aware of them? All 35,000 thoughts, are we aware of them? Yes? Yes or no? 35,000 per day? No. Only those ones which are very important, have deep connection with me, have some relation with me, only those thoughts I am able to remember. The rest are just forgotten. Beautiful analysis has been made, and it has been found these thoughts are of four major young people. Waste. For most of us, waste thoughts are the maximum ones. Whether youth or grown-up ones, waste thoughts. We are not negative because different parts of the world and nurtured them, but perchance my garden has been spoiled. If someone comes and says to me, "Oh sister, your garden does not look nice. Why don't you just destroy it and then grow a new garden?" Will I agree? Definitely not. I will say, yes, it is true. The weeds that have grown, it sounds sensible that I remove those weeds. But it is not at all sensible to destroy the whole garden. Why should I destroy it? Same thing holds good with us. Do we want to become dead wood? Definitely not. We want to be creative. We want to be positive. We want to be contributive. This is what we desire. And this can never happen if I just make my mind dead or thoughtless. Now, some have this pursuit that they like to make their mind totally empty, zero, thoughtless. Why do you make your mind thoughtless? Because it disturbs a lot. It is like a racing horse. No. In fact, you can never make your mind thoughtless. Why? To be thoughtless is also a thought, isn't it? So you can never be thoughtless. So, one of the basic principles of managing our mind is to accept ourselves, to accept our mind. And when I have accepted it, let me see it clearly. What does it contain? What does it have? If it has waste thoughts, now I need to work on it. Waste thoughts, why are they arising? Where is the cause? Identify it and try to get rid of it. This waste has to be converted into what we like to call best. Convert waste into best. Now, what happens when we have lots of waste thoughts? My performance is affected, isn't it? I'm not very active. I'm wasting my time, wasting all the resources because waste is here. I'm not able to concentrate. I'm not able to perform. If I need to improve, then keep in mind, waste thoughts are the enemy of your effectiveness and efficiency. To give a small little example, supposing your father got angry with you because of something. Now youth, what do they think? Why my father said this, and keep thinking of it the whole day. All the 24 hours are gone. Such an important resource is gone and gone forever. You cannot bring it back. Give it a little thought. When you churn, give it a little thought, then you become cautious. In our academy, what we are being taught nowadays, after every 1 hour, try to put a stop to all your thoughts. And when negative thoughts are there, then what happens? My performance is still further affected. And positive thoughts are left with very, very few in numbers. So where do I need to work? I need to break the cycle of negativity. How do I break it? There are 2 or 3 things which I would like to share with you, which will help you in your life. Number 1, I would like to say, challenge your built-up assumptions. Challenge your built-up assumptions. Now I ask you a question. Listen to me very diligently and then give me the answer. Let's say there were Romeo and Juliet in a room. Romeo and Juliet were in a room. Next morning, when the room was opened, it was found, window was open, there was television on which there was a cloth, jar was there, and then that had fallen down, newspapers were strewn all over, and then there was a lot of dust, and it was also found that Romeo and Juliet were dead. How did they die? Yes, any answers? What went wrong? Yeah, come up. Youth are sitting. Yes? How did Romeo and Juliet die? Yeah. Frustration. Yeah. Anything else? Challenge your assumption. Yes? Anything else? Suicide. Romeo and Juliet are the names of small 2 little fish that were there in the jar of water. When it was storm, the jar fell down. Romeo and Juliet, both the fishes died. Fish cannot survive without water. But what did you think? Romeo and Juliet of Shakespeare, right? This I was saying, challenge your assumptions. Second thing, I can go on this. Very frequently, we form ideas, we form opinions, we form assumptions, and we don't like to give them up. The times change, people change, but I don't like to give up my thinking, which is dangerous. It will not allow me to become creative. Okay? So challenge your assumptions always. Number 2, be careful of associated memories. Be careful of associated memories. Sometimes we think, oh, this one is linked with this, so this must be the result. Okay, now I ask you another question. You are prepared? Okay. What's the color of my blouse? Yes, speak up. Color of my sari? Color of sister's sari? Color of this flower? Color of the boat? Color of the moon? What does a cow drink? Does cow drink milk? But immediately what did you say? Cow gives milk, it does not drink milk. You get the point? Children, did you get the point? Huh? Associated memories. We immediately infer. Yes, it is like this. Again, I give you one more. Would you like to carry on? You have to give. Can I have decondition your mind? Third one is decondition your mind. Can I have someone who can give me spellings? Anyone? Anyone can come up? Wall. Wall.
W-A-L-L.
Ceiling.
S-I-L-L-I-N-C.
Floor.
F-L-W-R.
Wrong.
So,
I asked you the spelling of wrong. Okay? You get the point? So decondition your mind. Right? Thank you very much. Thank you. We give a clap to him because he had readily agreed. Okay. This, the quality, number 2, quantity, and number 3, direction. Whole day and night we are working. We have no time for ourselves. I will request you, after every 2 or 3 hours, give yourself little time. Withdraw yourself from work and ask yourself what you are doing now. Sit in silence, and this silence opens the inner eye. Sit in deep silence. Okay? One thing. This is what we call traffic control of thoughts. Traffic control of thoughts. We are thinking, but give it little time. Now check what is the quality of your thoughts. Number 2, quantity. Please remember, wasteful thoughts will be extra in number, positive thoughts will be few in number. In the forest, you don't grow trees, they automatically are growing. And then one fine day what happens? Catches fire and destroys. Similarly, mind, lots and lots and lots of thoughts. Quantity, we need to give attention. More quantity means less quality. And improve the quality. How will you check? Those thoughts which bring happiness to the self and to others are quality-wise better thoughts. Those thoughts which are creative, those thoughts which are contributive, those thoughts which are constructive in nature, these thoughts are positive. We need to give encouragement to these thoughts. This is why in student life, I see most of you are students. In student life, concentration is highlighted. Concentration is essential. And generally, I don't know what is in Bangladesh. In India, I do know. People, children, they say, oh, we are not able to concentrate. Why no concentration? Because of all this wastage.
আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি আমাদের তরুণ বন্ধুরা তারা অনেক তথ্য আজকে পেয়েছে, সেগুলোকে তারা কাজে লাগাবে এবং সামনের দিনগুলোতে আমরা তো বাংলাদেশে বাস করি, আমাদের যে ডিজিটাল বাংলাদেশের স্বপ্ন আছে বা রয়েছে, আমরা সেটাকে সাফল্যমণ্ডিত করব। নাও প্লিজ ওয়েলকাম বি.কে. শিলা, सब-जोनल इंचार्ज ब्रह्मा कुमारीज नॉर्थ ईस्ट रीजन इंडिया।
कि आप जानते हैं जैसे पीठ की जो रीढ़ की हड्डी अगर कमज़ोर हो तो सारा शरीर कमज़ोर हो जाता है। ठीक इसी तरह से यूथ जो है वो समाज की एक रीढ़ की हड्डी जैसे है। अगर युवा वर्ग कमज़ोर है तो सारा समाज, देश गिरावट की ओर जाता है। अगर यूथ पावरफुल है तो हमारा समाज, हमारा देश, विश्व उन्नति की शिखर में पहुंच सकता है। वर्तमान समय हम क्या देख रहे हैं? युवा वर्ग के अंदर धीरे धीरे बुराइयां बढ़ती चली जा रही हैं। फैशन प्रस्त दुनिया के अंदर फैशन का बढ़ावा, बुरी आदतों का बढ़ावा, जिस परिणाम धीरे धीरे हमारा मन जो एकाग्र नहीं हो पा रहा है और मन की एकाग्रता न होने के कारण जो हमारे मन में शांति होनी चाहिए, पीस होना चाहिए, वो नहीं रह गई है। इसलिए आज छोटा बच्चा, बड़ा, युवा, बूढ़ा सभी चाहते हैं शांति मिल जाए। तो शांति कोई वो चीज़ नहीं जो बाजार में मिल जाए, शांति वह चीज़ नहीं जो खरीद ली जाए या किसी को दे दी जाए। आपने अभी सुना कि इस शरीर के अंदर बोलने वाली, चलने वाली, देखने वाली एक पावरफुल चैतन्य शक्ति है, एनर्जी है, जिसे सोल कहा गया है, रूह। आज हम कहते हैं हमारा धर्म, रिलीजन मुस्लिम है, हिंदू है, गुजराती है, बंगाली है। रियलिटी में ओरिजिनल जो रूह का जो रिलीजन है वो शांति है। कोई हमने सब कुछ समझ लिया है, बॉडी को सब कुछ समझ लेने के कारण शांति पर डिटेल में जाता है, सिखाया जाता है कि शांति कंसंट्रेशन का नाम यूथ, उन्होंने कितना बड़ा कार्य करके हमारे सामने एक आदर्श बना दिया। तो हम अवश्य इस दुनिया को में बनाएंगे। नारा है सोनार बांग्ला, हम जरूर सोने का बांग्लादेश बनाकर ही छोड़ेंगे। कामना है। ओम शांति।
এতক্ষণ থেকে আমরা শুনে আসছি মনের বিষয়ে, আমাদের ভিতরে থাকা সেই চৈতন্য বিষয়ে। আমার মনে হয় খুব ভালোভাবে অনুভব অনুভব করতে পেরেছেন? আমাদের আশা দিদি খুব ভালোভাবে অনুভব করিয়েছে যে মন কি হয়, মন কেমন হয়, কিভাবে আমাদের মন আমাদের বিচারের মাধ্যমে আমাদেরকে নেগেটিভিটির দিকে নিয়ে যায়। সেই মনকে কি করে আমরা একাগ্র করি, কি করে আমরা পজিটিভ করি এবং মনের শক্তি যে প্রায়, যার ফলে দিদি বলেছেন যে আমরা সিম্পল শব্দ বলে দিই, সেটা হয়েছে ভুলে গেছি। কিন্তু যদি আমরা আমাদের টিফিনটা ভুলি না, লাঞ্চ ভুলি না, আমাদের প্রয়োজনীয় কাজের কথাগুলি কেন আমরা ভুলে যাই? শুধুমাত্র ওয়েস্টেজ এবং নেগেটিভ থিঙ্কিংয়ের জন্য। তো আসুন আমরা কিছু সময় রাজযোগ মেডিটেশনের অভ্যাস করি। দিদি এটাও বলেছেন যে মেডিটেশন মানেই শুধু একাগ্রতা নয়। যেমন টেররিস্ট কাউকে কনসেন্ট্রেশনের সাথে মারে, কিন্তু সেটাকে কি আমরা মেডিটেশন বলবো? নিশ্চয় না। তো মেডিটেশন মানে কনসেন্ট্রেশন না, মেডিটেশন হয়েছে এক সুপ্রিম পাওয়ার